Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Whispering Cages. Now, a little while ago, and I think it's actually from the same constructor, Evan, we played a puzzle that mixes German whispers and killer cages together to basically create like something that I thought was very unique and actually really enjoyable. Now, we've got more of the same, bit more of a twist again. You'll understand once I take you through the rule sets. But really looking forward to this. It is supposedly 1 star. And it's got a 96% rating as of the time of recording, so it should be a bit of a treat. However, what I often find is that what comes across as 1 star but it's a new variant, it always feels a little bit tougher, which I admit kind of hesitant about doing for a Tuesday. I may end up kind of recording this now but saving it for a Wednesday or something like that. Let's see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Whispering Cages by Evan and the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, if I can actually select one, and then of course every 3x3 box, so nothing unusual here. Killer cages, also nothing unusual here. Digits in cages cannot repeat and must sum to this number in the upper left corner of that cage. So these 4 cells, for example, when you add up all of the 4 digits that make it up, they have to be 20. Emphasis on do not repeat. I can already see some cases where this is quite crucial for us to actually be able to solve it. Second part is the whispering cages. Wherever 2 cages orthogonally touch, the difference between the 2 touching cells must be at least 5. So there's a 10 cage in here. There's a 15 cage in there. They are clearly touching orthogonally between these 2 cells. So if I say this cell here is a 3, this cell would have to be 5 or more away, 8 or 9. If I say this cell is a 2, this would have to be 5 or more away, 7, 8, 9. So we are in, like I said, for a bit of a treat here, difference of logic that we're gonna, it seems to be very much driven by the construction of this for us to actually figure this out. Anyhow, as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. Now, the reason I kind of said no repeats is quite important because I can see immediately a 10 cage in 4 cells is entirely forced. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. The emphasis, however, is that all of these are low digits, and therefore the 15 cage and the 20 cage, where these 2 cells orthogonally connect with a 10, they both have to be high. Have a think about this. If this is 6, so essentially the minimum now I can make this would be 6. And then these 3 cells would have to add up to 9. And then even if I make them 1, 2, that won't work. Even if I make them 1, 3, this would be at least a 5. Sorry, a maximum of 5. So I think what I'm saying is that this has to be low. I can't afford, here's a more obvious way, I don't know why I made this hard. I couldn't make this 6, 7, because that would be 13, and then I would require a double 1 to get to 15. So long story short, this has to be low, this has to be high. Now, if 15 can only afford 1 high digit, clearly the 14 cage can only afford 1 high digit. So both of these that are connecting to these are low, and therefore these 2 cells are going to be high. If 14 can only afford 1 high digit, 13 definitely can only afford 1 high digit. So this is definitely going to be low, this is high, this is going to be low, and then obviously these 2 cells are high. Same logic that we've done with the 15. Even if this is 6, I can't get a 7 in here because I would require a double 1. So this would be low, this would be high. And we kind of almost did a full tour actually of all of the cages now. So we have something. Sorry, I can't use that 6, remove that. And we have our break-in. Have a look at the 12 cage. This is now a minimum of 6. I have 3 more cells that need to add up to 6. And that is it. 1, 2, 3, and 6. This has to be 1. This is not 1. And we're off and running. These are 1s as well. These are not ones. This is 1. In box 2 now, with the ones lining up in rows 2 and 3, these have to be 1s. These are now at least 7, 8, 9s because it can't be 6s and I can't have a 1 next to them. This is also 7, 8, 9. So like the 20 cage now, 7 and 8 being the minimum, which is 15, makes these two cells also low. Not that it's touching anything, but these have to be low digits as well. This is now at least 7. So like it feels like the rest of this 15 cage is now starting to get a bit tricky. This is of course 2, 3, 4. It can't be 4, otherwise that'd be double 9. Now, if this is 7 and 1, that's adding up to 8. And then I need 2 cells that add up to 7, except it's not 1, 6. It could be 2, 5. It couldn't be 2, 5 because that would be 2, that would be 7. So it'd have to be 3, 4. And then that would be 2. That's fine. This is the case if this is 1, 7. This will be 1, 7, 2, 3, 4. If this is an 8, however, these 2 cells are now adding up to 9. And then I need 2 cells that add up to 6. And it can't be 1, 5. It would have to be 2, 4. So there's always a 4 in here. And if it's 2, 4, that would be 3, and then this would be 8. Long story short, I've got a 2, 3, 4 triple with a 4 in here, but I haven't actually made any progress. So not sure how this is helping us. Notice the 7, 8, 9 here, how much pressure it puts under. So essentially what I'm saying is, even if this is 7, these 3 cells have to add up to 8. So there has to be a 1 in here in one of these 3 cells. That's a definite. Because either I'm adding up to 7, I mean, it's either 6, 7, or 8, all of which require in 3 cells at least a 1. And it's really only the 7 where I can fit a 5 in here. Otherwise, all 3 digits would be low. So as in 7 with 1, 2, 5. Not quite. 20 maybe? I mean, we should look at the 13, but like I'm just kind of exploring all my options. If this is 7, 8, these 2 cells would be 5. But I don't think I can make it 2, 3 because that would make this 4. That would require this 9, and 7, 8 goes out the window. So it'd have to be 1, 4. So 1, 4 with 7, 8 is an option. I mean, the interplay with a 2, 3, 4 is interesting. So let me just explore this. If this is 2, 3, it breaks. So 2, 3 is out. I assume 2, 4 would be out. This would be 3. This would be at least 8. 8 and 6 is 14. And this can't be 6. So yeah, 2, 4 also breaks. And let me guess, 3, 4 also breaks. That would be my guess, because that would be 7. Even if this is 2 with 7, that is 14, and this can't be 6. So 3, 4 is out. So long story short, anything without a 1 doesn't work. So that's not 1. But then my guess is I can actually make any of them work. I could do 1, 2 with 8 and 9. I could do 1, 3 with 7 and 9. I could do 1, 4 with 7 and 8. Yeah, not helpful. 13 cage it is. Now, if I minimize this with 6, these 3 cells add up to 7. So they are all low digits. There has to be a 1 in one of these 2 cells. Oh, I think I've got it. It's probably the 14 cage next and these 2 ones. Let me just kind of finish my thought and then I'll jump here in a second. But in essence, I don't think I can even go as high as 8. 8 would require 5 and 3 cells, which is impossible. So this is 6 or 7. And essentially, either this is 1, 2, 3, with a 1 being here, because that's not 1. We've already placed it. Or it's 1, 2, 4. Yeah, I'm not going to pencil mark all of that. Right, 14 cage. Same kind of logic, probably. If I minimize this with 6, which I can with a 1 in here, I need 3 cells that add up to 8. This can't be 1, so 1 has to be in here. So this can't be 1. This has to be 1. This can't be 1. This has to be 1. And then let me just think about what is the rest of this. So if this is 6, this is 8. And because, can I get away with 2, 5? That can't be 6 anymore because I've already placed this, the 1. So that now has to be 7. This is even much better. So these 3 cells have to be 6. So that is 1, 2, 3. And then these 2 cells obviously can't be 1, 2, 3 anymore. So I can't get to 6, meaning I can't get to 8 in here. Essentially, if I make this 8, to get to 14, these 3 cells have to be 6, and that would be 2, 3, and then that would break this cell. And obviously 9 is too big because these 3 cells, which is impossible, would have to add up to 5. Lastly, because it can't be 7, this is just 6, and this is 1. That's not 1. 1 in here. Let's do some Sudoku. Not 1, and then we're left with a 1 X-wing, which we'll come back to shortly. I don't know how short. 6 and 1, this is already 7. These 2 cells have to add up to 7. My options include 2 and 5. Notice this has to be a low digit. And of course it can't be 3, 4 because this 7 requires a 2. That was obvious. So that's a 5. Right, a bit of Sudoku and geometry here. We have placed 10, 13, plus the 24, 37, and then to get to 45 from 37, this would have to be 8. Let me just walk you through what I've just done. Obviously, the digits 1 to 9 are in every box. You add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you will get to 45. I can see 24 of them, so that is 21 left. Remove 10, that is 11 left. Remove 3, that is 8 left. This is 8. This is not 8. These are now 6 9s. That is the 6. That is the 9. This is the 4 5. Obviously, this is the 6 because it needs a 1 next to it. And this is the only place for the 1. Where am I going? Guess I kind of need to sort of follow this around somehow. Oh, 7 and 8 means that's 9. This is now already quite big. So with either 9 8, meaning it's 1 2, or 9 7, meaning it's 1 3, there is no 4 in here. This is not a 2. This is not a 3. This is a 7 8 pair. This is 5 9. That is not 9. That's 9. That's 5. 6 is neither of these. 6 is in here. 6 is in there, although obviously I've already placed this one, so 6 is in one of these 2 cells. 9 is in here. In fact, there is no 9 there, but 9 is in one of these 2 cells. I feel like I can't do another 9 inside. I've already established I can't do another high digit inside the 15, so that's the 9. And no 6. 5 is also very limited. It feels like it's almost being forced inside the 15 cage, but not quite. Let's have a think around this for a second. So minimum now is 8, and then I need 2 cells that add up to 7, and it's not 1 6. It could be 2 5, and it could be 3 4. And then 1 8 will be much easier. I need to get to, that would be 9. I need to get to 6. It would have to be 2 4. Yeah, I need a bit more Sudoku to help me. Just a tiny bit more. So there's another 2 3 4, and then another 7 8. Now the other 7 8 is none of these. So the other 7 8, this is 6 7 8. No, it's not. There's nothing wrong with it being in here. How about this is 6 7 8, because it can't be 9. This is not 4. 6 would require 1 in... No, it wouldn't require 3 cells to add up to 11. I can get away with like 2, 3, 6. So I can even have a second high digit. I can't. It would require a double 6. 6 and 7 is 13. 2 more cells that add up to 4 to get me to 17 will be 1, 3. So actually I can get away with another high digit. Huh. Right, Sleuth, whenever you get stuck, remember, do more Sudoku. I admit, I'm not quite seeing how this is going to help me. The answer is got to be somewhere between the 17 cage and the 15 cage. I probably need to think about them a bit harder. Sorry, it may be my dog's dog walker, which might mean I'm going to have to hit pause and come back to you shortly. So apologies for that. I'll be right back. Right, sorry about that. Let's see if we can pick this up from where we left. I had the 15 cage selected, so presumably I was thinking, let's think about it a bit harder. Let's think about it a bit harder. So, minimum is 8. 2 cells that add up to 7. 1 6 is out. 2 5 seems distinctly possible. Hang on, Sleuth. This has to be 2 because one of these is a neighbor is 7. This is now 3 4 pair. This is now a 2 as a result. What was it previously? 2 3 2. So this is a 1 3 pair. This is now a 1 3 pair in the row. No. Oh yeah, no, yeah. 1 3 4 is 8. This has to be 7. This has to be 8. 8 and 9 forces this to be 17. So this has to be 1 2 to add up to 3. No 2's inside here anymore. So even if this is 7 and I need to get to 5, what was it again? 1 7, that is 8, and I need to get to 7. 1 6 is out, 2 5 is out. This has to be 3 4, which ends up as ending with a 3 4 pair. Now, if it's 1 8, however, I think I'm in trouble. Because that would be 9, and then I need to get to 6, and then 1 5 doesn't work, and 2 4 doesn't work. So this is definitely 3 4 pair. Sorry. I picked up my dog when she was still having dinner and brought her upstairs, and she's a bit upset. Sorry. And I just noticed the microphone wasn't anywhere near me. So this is now 8, therefore this has to be 7. 3 4 pair means this is now a 2. And then the remaining digits are 5 6 and 8. 5 and 6 are not here. This is 8. This is a 5 6 pair, but that's not 5. That's 6. That's 5. That removes the 6 option from here, so it's probably going to make the 17 cage a little bit easier to have a think about now. This has to be 7 to complete the row. This is the other 3 4. It's not 3, it's 4. This is 3. This is 1. This is 4. It gives me my options of 7 or 8, with this being 1. It gives me a 3 in here, a 1 in there. So I think we've got this in the bag, other than the 3 cells. Yeah, so we basically need to get the 17 cage, and it's just down to Sudoku after that. 4 in here gives me 5, 4. This is 5, 6, 8. And of course, they're all different at the bottom, as in not 6, not 8, not 5. They don't happen to line up in any particular column. Right, if this is 7, these 3 cells are adding up to 10. This cannot be 2, 3, 5. Can't have 2, 3 here, can't have 2, 3 here. So even if I'm trying to get these 3 cells to add up to 10, the 1 is necessary. Now, the other possibility is this is 8, and I need 3 cells to add up to 9. And 2, 3, 4 doesn't work. Again, no 2, 3, no 2, 3. So the 1 has to be in here for sure. And therefore, this is 2, this is 1. And then the question is whether these 2 cells add up to, so to get to 10, so these 2 cells will be 9. Or to get to 9, and therefore these 2 cells need to add up to 8. I'm sorry, I'm going to pause a second. I think she ate way too quickly and she's struggling. 1 second. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, so we'll come back to the puzzle in a second, but essentially my elder dog loves her food. And it's almost like she eats competitively. So she rather choke on her food and eat her sister's food than eat at a normal place and risk the fact that she can't get in a second meal. Right. So if this is 7, this needs to add up to 10. These 2 cells are 9. That can't be 1, 8. That can't be 2, 7. That can't be 3, 6. This would have to be 4, 5. On the other hand, if this is an 8, these 3 cells are 9, these 2 cells are 7, and it's not 1, 6, and it's not 2, 5, and it's not 3, 4. So this is 4. So this has to be 1, 4, 5, and this has to be 7. Right. At that point, so I'm just double checking this before I make that statement, we have used all the variants. So essentially, I am left with Sudoku to finish this. This is 5, 6, for example, in the column. Therefore, this is 4. This is the 4 in here has given me a 5, has given me a 4. That's much better. This is 6. This is 8. This is 5. What I'm left with in here is a 3 by the looks of things. Then there's another 3 there. That's fine. These 2 cells are, by the looks of things, an 8, 9 pair. In here, I need 2, 5, 7. Not 5. 2, 7, 6. Not 2, not 7. Not resolved. 3 is down here. Not useful. 4 is a bit more of an easier play. This can only be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. This is not 6 or 7. This is 8 or 9. This is not 7 or 8. This is 6 or 9. But more importantly, 8, 9 pair in the row gives me 6, gives me 7, not 7. 2 pairs in here, 8 and 3. 8 and 3. No clue. 8 is in one of these 2 cells. Not very useful. 4, 8, 9. Yeah. Not 8. Not 9. Not 4. Don't really need the corner pencil marks. 2 is in one of these 2 cells. Not very useful. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is not here, but it could be there. All right, 7 is in one of these 2 cells. Not very useful again. Obviously, I can just absolutely go to town on pencil marks, but you know me by now. I'd rather avoid that. I'm just constantly looking for something that's easier. So essentially I have 4, 7, 9, and 2. 7 is none of these. That's 7. So 4, 2, 9. This is 2 or 9. This is 2 or 4. In here I have another 2, 4 plus 3, 6. This is not 2 or 4. So this is 3, 6. This is not 2 or 4. So the only place for 2 or 4 is in here. That's, oh no, that can be a 2. And then a 3, 6 pair. But this cell can't be 3. That's 6. That's 3 was already placed. Sleuth, what are you doing? Not 3, 6. Let's just remove that. Regardless, the 2, 4 statement is correct. So this is the 2, 4 pair. This was never 3. This is 3. Then I have 6 paired with something. A 5, that's 6. That's 5. 7 again. I think we should be able to get all the 7s now. 7, that is all the 7s. And then down here is 2 or 9. It's not 9. That's 2. That's 9. That's 4. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 8. That's 9. That's 4. That's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6, 8. I'm going to say an unresolved 6, 8 pair. Yeah, not seeing any resolutions. And then 2, 6. No. 2. What am I trying to say? 3 and 2, 8. 3 and 8. And 6 can't be in here. So that's got to be the 2. That's got to be the 3. That's a 6. That's an 8. That gives me a 6 in here. That gives me a 2 there. Somehow it doesn't help me with my 8, 9s. That's fine. I need a 5, which can only be in here. And then 8 or 9, that's 9, 8, 9. And then an 8, oh, hang on. 3 and 4 for the finish. It's a beautiful puzzle, Evan. You know, when you look at the rules and you kind of get going with just a bunch of colors in a handful of spots, you just kind of think this doesn't feel like it solves. That is literally all the information that we're given, obviously plus the sums. So it's just absolutely incredible how sparse you need to be with the rule set to actually be able to get a solution with no digits being given. Fantastic puzzle for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. Maybe the video. It's been kind of interrupted a few times. And I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.